I'm excited to do another week's edition of this episode is all about the Acorn Club questionnaire and also about the stories that we have to tell. Everybody has a story to tell. Every building has a story to tell. I was thinking about this as I filled out my questionnaire about myself, the things that I would be interested in knowing about if I were researching somebody else's information. And this may help you do some journal keeping. I have lots of journals. I've always kept some sort of a journal. I've not been real consistent about keeping them every day, but I'll show you something about journals and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. So here are two of my journals. This is one that I kept when I was much younger. And I don't always keep very private information. Many of the things I've written down over the years are silly. Here's another one. But I want to talk to you for a moment about whether or not it matters if the information in your journal is silly. It really does not. Today I was looking at some documents that I did not realize I had. My father was given some documents by his father from my great-grandmother that she had written down when she was very ill. Before she passed away, she had written down information about her day and how things were going. And yes, it's very basic and sort of boring, but to me it means a whole lot because it's about things that I am unaware of. At this age, I hadn't had any experience with her life, and I didn't know her because she passed before I was born. So it's very interesting. Another way to keep a journal is by taking photographs, and I keep some in a photo album, but you can keep them on your computer or on your phone. Keeping a journal helps you because it helps other people have access to information about you, your children, nieces and nephews, grandchildren, people who definitely want to know more about you and the life that you lived. Another way that people might be interested in knowing more about you has to do with the kind of work you did. My very first job was in a place called Oregon Stamp and Stationery. I live in the state of Oregon in the United States, and this building is in the center of downtown. But the building that I worked in was a very old building, and it had 2 basements. It was kind of like a dungeon down there, and I really didn't like to go down there because I was 14 years old. But it's exciting, and that building has a history. And now that I'm older, I'm curious about that history. And those are the kinds of things that I can research and learn more about. And other people who want to know about me. But one of the biggest things about genealogy is it helps you connect with people that you don't know very well. You might think you know your parents really well, or your children. You might think that you know your grandparents. But the more you talk to them and the more you listen to their answers and write them down, the more you realize you have so much in common. And really, that is one of the biggest values that you will find in doing your family research is connecting those lines and creating connections with people that you have more in common with than you realize. Another exciting element of genealogy is discovering that you are actually related to people around you. I have found so many distant cousins just by checking my genealogy against theirs. Sometimes it's not that easy. I've taken a DNA test. I happen to have those results and that makes it easier, but there are ways to tell, and there is actually a fun program out there that I'll talk about at some point in the future. It was so good to spend some time with you today. I hope you have a really good day, and I will look forward to seeing you in another week. Bye.